Good morning. Been kind of a bittersweet morning. This is the last full day I'll be on the trail. Tomorrow, I'll be leaving. Yeah, I wanted to stretch out these last sections, especially due to the last section, section 22, which is supposed to be the most demanding. It's the highest elevation gain I'm going to get. I kind of just wanted to stretch out these last 3 days, not push it, you know, have some fun filming and things. And yeah, most I ever slept in on the trail this whole trip. So probably gonna leave camp about 9 o'clock now. I only have about 10 miles planned, maybe a little more. We'll be passing Elizabeth Furnace picnic area down here. It'll be about a half a mile away, but that was another option to go camping, but I kind of wanted to get a little wild here. So this is really nice. Trip went by really fast. It really did. I can't explain what it does in your head. Wow, it's already over. Okay, let's get a move on. Just a few minutes ago, and a guy and his dog came running by here. So this must be somewhat popular day hike area I'm on. Yeah, I thought it was funny right when I got to camp last night. Saw this little spring running. It's probably just a wet weather spring, but how convenient that would have been if I would have known. I wouldn't count on that being there at that campsite. Pretty soon we're going to be coming up to 678 in the end of this section here, about 2 miles left of it. And we're going to be climbing up Massanutten Mountain. And at the bottom of that, we're going to come to Little Crease Shelter, I believe. And I want to spend my last night on the Tuscarora Trail in one of their PATC shelters. So from then we'll have 14 miles out with a pretty significant climb. The guide said it's a demanding section, so I figure splitting it up, have more fun. It kind of worked out with the timeline with the pickup too and everything, so make the best of this beautiful weather. So right past that stream and the Sidewinder Trail, this camp was nicer than mine. Get off my camera. The bugs are coming out. But yeah, this is a nice camp. Man, I picked these up at the Food Lion. 30 grams of protein, 380 calories. I had one yesterday. This is the chocolate chip cookie dough. Really good. I'm gonna have one right now. And yet another nice campsite here by the stream down here. Looks pretty used, but looks pretty nice too. A lot more camps around than I thought there would be. Just coming to the end of section 20, and I see my next section right in front of me. Massanutten Mountain. Now this must be the Elizabeth Furnace picnic area. This is not the camping area. Toilets, I assume. I'm gonna check this water. No water. Well, anyway, welcome to section 21. So this here is the remains of Elizabeth Furnace. Iron smelting furnace, I believe. This is neat. Yeah, the guide said this is the most historical section. Yeah, all these voices and cars I see around here, quite possibly they all camped here last night too. So I think I made a good decision. I wanted to keep it quiet. Okay, that was my last stream crossing for maybe another 4 miles or so. So I took a nice little break there, filled up with water. Just taking a liter with me. I like going light and fast. Well, as light as I can at least. Now we're gonna start making a climb up to Massanutten Mountain. Well, that's some big switchbacks all the way up. We're about to the top now. A lot of stone stairs, and a few boulder fields to go over. All in all, one of those uphills that's, you know, kind of fun. I did take a few breaks on it when I found some shade. It's something to see. I started the trail, the Mount Laurel. Most of them were buds. And then I saw them just open up and just flourish everywhere. Now as I'm walking through, I see their petals on the ground. Got to a big intersection here. A couple trails that lead down to some parking lots. This Buzzard Rock, I think, leads out to a view and into a parking lot. Tuscarora Trail is going to take a right. Okay, well, there was a little bit further to the top of the ridgeline. It was equally as fun. Now we're at the top of the ridgeline. And I got views to my left and right through the trees. Wintertime would be big time views up here. This is looking east. I know eventually we're going to be able to see the Shenandoah River from up here. I don't think I can see it from this point. So we just passed under the peak of Little Crest Mountain, and then we came back up on the ridgeline here. And I think this is where we're going to start seeing some views. Oh boy, it's nice up here though. Snagging some good views here to my left now through the trees. Starting to descend. I'm actually on a switchback right now. There's the Shenandoah there. Nice little camp here with a prehistoric bench. Nice tent area. Now I thought we might be getting close to a stream coming up from the other side here. But I tell you what, it doesn't look like there's any kind of stream around here. Maybe I'm not where I think I am. Oh, another campsite right here. Oh, with a nice view. This way. Shenandoah Valley. Saw quite a few campsites since this morning and now, just random campsites like that throughout. So there is options to go past Elizabeth Furnace and find some camps. Now they're going to be dry, but there's options. Well, I was a little ahead of myself. We aren't exactly descending yet, even though we're starting to. We're still up on the ridgeline, and we came across a great view here. This is looking into the South Fork of the Shenandoah River. And right there, what we're looking at is called the Point. Archaeologists found that there were Native Americans living there 12,000 years ago. Stone tools and weapons. I believe it's called the Clovis Point period, where humans were starting to use tools and making tools out of things. Right down there, 12,000 years ago, humans were surviving. Right over here, we move over here on the rock, we can look kind of the end of the trail. Looking that way, that is towards Matthew's Arm, which is one of the last stops before the end of the Tuscarora Trail, meaning a camping area. Now we started making our way down. Okay, been making good time. A lot further along than I thought. 1/10 of a mile to the shelter. This right here is Mill Run we're going to cross. And there should be a spring by the shelter. And here we are, the final night on the Tuscarora Trail. The little Crease shelter. Oh man. Like I said, bittersweet day. Look at this setup, wow. Bunk beds in here too. Wow, neat. So I've talked about all the stretching I've been doing, so I figured since it's the last night here in my last shelter, let me show you what I've been doing. Now remember, I'm no doctor, but this is what I've learned the last 5 weeks. I find a platform like that, keep my legs straight, and I just wait till I feel this stretch. Hold that for 30 seconds, each leg, 3 times. Then I find a nice rock to stretch my calf muscle that's angled up pretty high. I lean my foot into it, keep my legs straight, hips out, until I feel my calf muscle stretch. Same thing, 30 seconds each side, 3 times. And the third one, so hold my leg with my arm, hips out, and stretch, and you feel the pull right here in your leg. 30 seconds each leg, 3 times. And the last one involves a belt or a rope. You make a loop out of it. And I've only done this at night when I have a shelter. A couple times when I have a nice flat squat, I did it with my sit pad. But this one, it feels really good with the IT band. Move this around your ankle, other leg flat, hold it out straight, and you pull to the side. Oh, that's the one that feels good. Right here, you feel just like all the rest. 30 seconds, 3 times on each leg. Well, like I said, I'm no doctor. That's just the stretches I've learned over the last 5 weeks. On top of that, there was many exercises I did twice a day. So I really worked hard at it. It really paid off because I'm about to complete this 250-mile trail. I can't believe how fast it went. I'm glad I stretched this out because that was a heck of a climb. The next climb is going to be even bigger than that, so I'm going to give that a whole day. We're getting up early tomorrow. My goal is to get out by 2 p.m. So 14 miles, but it's a huge uphill. It's like all uphill. Well, good morning. Welcome to my last day on the Tuscarora Trail. It's now 5 a.m. and we're about to make a 14-mile run. Now we have a little climb to do, and then we're gonna have some road walking for a little bit, so I'm hoping to catch up a lot of time on that. And then we're gonna have a 3,400-foot climb to end the trail. Set the alarm for about 3:45 this morning. Just took my time, got the logbook signed in there, everything packed up, as slim as late as I can go. We got a 7-mile run before my next water source, so I got 2 liters here on me. Hey, I wanted to say the privy was nice for this last shelter I had. Might be the best one, cleanest. Let's go. We were up there looking down at the Shenandoah River. Now we're crossing it. I've been on a road walk for a little bit now. This is where I was thinking I could catch up a lot of time. So after some nice easy road walking in this early morning, the sun's not beating down on me yet. We're just going to finish up section 21 here. And here we are about to start the last section of the Tuscarora Trail, section 22. So just after a short walk on Route 30 there, you go into this private driveway here. Oh, there's a sign that says hikers only. This is a private driveway though. eventually supposed to lead to a tunnel. And we're supposed to go underneath the railroad. Well, I think I see. We're only on the driveway for a second here. This is underneath the Norfolk and Southern Railroad. I feel like I just went back in time. So now we're walking along Overall Run. Had a little confusion there. Got to this concrete marker of the Overall Run Trail. And you get the double blazes and you see a blue blaze to the right, but you're supposed to turn to the left. Even if you look on the post, it says Tuscarora Trail, Overrun Trail this way. I walked down there for a while and just walked back up. The guide says turn left. I was just following the markers thinking like, I don't need to look at the guide, the markers are right there. I mean, I gotta be going the right way. I mean, there's blue markers going all the way down that hill and then they stopped. That's what made me think twice. I was like, I haven't seen a blue marker in a while. And I said, oh, I think I was supposed to go left up there. Let's go back up and check. Lo and behold, left looked like the way to go. Let's hope I made the right decision. This is the right direction, so. We're about to start our final climb up to the AT. I've yet to see any blue markers this way though. I don't know if I should start worrying or not. Like I said, this is the right direction to the AT. Well, there's a blue blaze. Finally, I see one. That was weird. They went off to the right, but took you the wrong way. Open the map up on all trails, and they have a lot of the other little trails around here. And it looks like that would eventually loop around to where you want to get, but it looks like it would take the long way. I feel better now that I see blue again. Okay, we're good, we're good. I was like 99% sure this is right. And if it wasn't right, it's still going in the right direction. But see, that sky blue makes me feel better.
Well, that's my last scoop of water on the Tuscarora Trail. Right here from Overall Run. Less than 4 miles out now. This is probably my last significant break. And my last chance at easy water, I think. It's been a great trip. This is a trip I'm going to remember forever.
So I'm making my way up these switchbacks. We're coming up near Matthew's Arm Trail to lead down to the campground. And I found a little campsite off to the side here off these switchbacks. Somewhat flat area right there. I've seen worse. Oh, and just up the trail from that campsite, there's no camping for the next half a mile. If you're wondering how this climb is going, it's going up. Straight up for a while. Not really any views, some views through the trees. Just past the family coming down on a day hike. Boy, that means we're getting close. I knew this last push would be rough. I left so early and I just been crushing time. I'm gonna be pretty early. We're gonna have about almost a half a mile walk on the AT till we get to the parking lot I'm getting picked up at, which is going to be Hogback parking lot. Hogback parking for the AT. There they are. But those are the highest falls in all of Shenandoah National Forest, 93 feet.
view here. Whoa. Well, there has been switchbacks coming up. Endless switchbacks. Steep switchbacks. Starting to turn into stairs now. So my time is finally coming up on the Tusky here. The Tuscarora Trail, 250 miles. I'm about to complete it. I can't wait to go through the footage and relive all this. Now this has been different than my usual videos. I really concentrated a lot on getting the hike done rather than my usual video taking. Hope I did it justice. I didn't do all the big walk-away shots I usually do. I tried to stay away from the turn-by-turn directions unless, you know, I felt it necessary to say what I'm doing, but it's a pretty straightforward trail to follow. There are some parts where the detours, and there's one confusion back there today during this section 22. But it's been marked really well. I just wonder if I would have kept following those blue markers, if it eventually would have led around a different way. I don't understand what that was for, but I'm on the right route. Blue markers all the way. And it was very seldom that I didn't see blue markers. Most of the time it was on the road walking. You don't see them for a while. But when you get these guides, I highly recommend getting the guide. There's two of them. This is the southern one. The northern one should be at my house by now because I mailed it home. But yeah, they really put together a nice guide, nice maps. The website is put together really well with updates, emails to get a hold of people and ask questions. Yeah, it's set up and it's ready for you. With the shelters from that grant from REI in 2015, you get all these great signs to let you know the mileage between different spots. And most of the shelters are really nice and newish. I only saw a couple that were kind of old, a few. I didn't see all of them, I don't think. I think I skipped a couple. But for the most part, they were all new. New within the last 10 years, that is. As for my hike, as for what I thought of it, my plan, very happy with my plan. There could have been many different ways to go about this. Obviously, you could have done fewer days. I was very happy with the way I've done it, especially these last 3 days, because these last two climbs, the one last night and the one today, you know, they were significant. Out of the two towns you visit, Woodstock was my favorite of the two. It just seemed like you had more to do, more places you could walk at your convenience, like right around you. That'd be the place to take the zero. The only thing about Hancock is right in the middle of the trail, so it's almost like a gimme, like Hancock is where you want to take a zero. But I really enjoy my zero in Woodstock as well. Happy with the mileage I pulled. There were some days where I did a bunch of 20s in a row, 20 pluses in a row, and I felt like my body felt good through the whole thing. Kept up with my stretches. The physical therapy I went through before I came here, 100% definitely helped. I'm gonna make sure I thank the doctor that treated me for this, because he was very intrigued by this trip and the other doctors there that were helping me. So I said, I'm gonna go for it. What do you got to lose, right? I mean, I was gonna do anything stupid. I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. It worked out, man. I'm telling you, stretching and strength training works for your IT band. Most days, especially the long days, on most days I started the day with 1 extra strength Tylenol and 3 ibuprofen. There was only one day where I doubled that up. Terrible day when I got to the Girard shelter, and I just had it. I remember that day I mixed up my mileage, or I went backwards. That was the worst day on the trail. That was a bad section. What section was that? That was so grown in. And then there was that section right after the Foster Hollow shelter. It was very similar, but added Pennsylvania rocks to it without the climb, but that was tough too. Obviously the Pennsylvania section, you got way more rocks. You're gonna come across rocks down here too, but not like up there. It does get better as you go south. Oh, hi. Boy, I must be getting close. A lot of day hikers coming by me. One downside to the trail is there is definitely a lot of road walking, especially in and out of Hancock. There's a significant amount of road walking, and then throw in that detour. You're on the road for a while. You can make up a lot of miles on that, but especially when I was doing it in the heat of the day in beginning of June, that was hot. You know, I got through it, but it might not be for everybody. The road walking does take you through all that farmland, which is so pretty and peaceful, and the crows and the roosters off in the distance, and the pastures and the wildflowers along the road. Yeah, it was great timing. This is great timing for my trip. Like I said a couple times on the trail, unless you're gonna come here before everything grows in and it'll be a little cold, but you're not wearing shorts on the Tuscarora Trail unless you want to torture yourself. Grown in, thorns. Whew. I'm so thankful for these long pants and my gaiters going through a lot of that stuff. Permethrin too. So one tick the whole time on me. Right on my pants, flicked them off. Never had a tick on me. All in all, this 250 miles plus. It's going to be the longest trail I ever did, start to finish. Longest days out. 2 town stops. Oh, it feels good to accomplish it. I'm trying to think what my favorite part was. Today is my favorite part. It seems like whatever day I was on was my favorite part, you know? I can plan for like a 3 or 4 day trip, and at the end of the last day, you know, I think to myself, could I do one more day? No, I'm ready to go home. It's in my head, you know? Plan a 7-day trip. I can do 6 days, no problem. 7th day, I'm ready to go. Can you do an 8th? No. I was wondering if I could do, like, mentally was always the hardest thing for me. You know what, you prepare for it, you plan, and there wasn't one day that I thought to myself, boy, I wish I could go home early. That one night going into the yard shelter, I remember messaging home saying, I'm about 70 miles to the finish, and I think I hit a wall. But I got myself together. But yeah, I mean, 18 days. All in all, I think it'll be 16 days of hiking. That's a good average. I don't mind. Everybody hikes their own hike, you know. Couldn't be happier. And the weather. Gear-wise, I was very happy. My new Vecto bottle that replaced my Smart Water bottle is a little goofy at times, but it got through. It's just I'm used to a sturdy Smart Water bottle, you know. But I can't think of any complaints I have about my gear. I remember last year on the PA Wilds trip, I was rained on and rained on. And I said, I'm always taking a tarp with me, especially on a long trip. And I got to use it that one night, and it did help. Now, when I woke up in the morning, it wasn't raining barely, but just to know that I had it. So that'll be coming all the time. The tent held up great, mostly shelter camping. Yeah, gear-wise, my feet did great. There were some days where I pushed the wetness a little too much on them, but I couldn't be happy with these Lone Peak 9 Plus. I forget what makes them a plus, but they held up great in all the wet weather. Insole stayed in, never flopped around. Blisters were very minuscule. Seems like I got a blister on the side of my big toe right away, and it kind of just hung out there and never really bothered me. Another tiny blister on one of my little toes too, but like I said, it never really bothered me, nothing I had to address. The nights where I had my feet wet, every night I put Aquaphor on my feet. And then I put socks over them. And that really heals them up quick from what I found. I was very happy I got a wallet too. Little travel wallet. That came in handy in town. So I used to just take a baggie, you know, with my license and a card in it, and money, and an actual little, just a wallet. You slide cards in it and had a money slot in the back. Boy, that was nice. Kept the hotel room key in there and everything. The stay at Hancock was okay. The Comfort Inn in Woodstock was, oh boy, that was nice. That was like luxury for me. That was a nice hotel. Taco Bell right across the parking lot. Yeah, I had to visit there. A couple nice taverns in town. All the fast food you could want. Yeah, Woodstock was nice. So should you hike the Tuscarora Trail? I had fun on it. If you like hiking up on the ridge lines, through some rockiness and some big views, and then hiking down through valleys on some farm roads, I mean, that's what you're looking for. This is where it's at. The shelters are set up so nice in between where you can really have a shelter every night if you wanted. There's some mileage I wanted to do on certain days where I skipped the shelter, but it's nice to know you have shelter and water nearby, especially when you don't know what the weather is going to do. So yes, I'd recommend the trail. It's put together nice. There's definitely love put into it. The club that runs this, the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, does a great job. Check out their website. I'm gonna fill out a detailed report of my trip and send it in to them and hopefully get a patch back for my completion of the Tuscarora Trail. Yeah, I saw one other thru hiker the whole time, and I was the only one he saw the whole time. If you want a more rugged, now I've never been on the AT, just little pieces of it, but they say if you want a more rugged version of the AT, one without all the people, Tuscarora Trail will fit that bill. Yeah, if you're looking for a little more solitude with the AT feel, town stops and everything, Tuscarora Trail's fun. Now, I'm not saying the AT wouldn't be fun. I never have done it or been on a long portion of it, but I'm sure it's fun because enough people do it. But this is great for me. You know, as I'm winding this adventure up, biggest adventure of my lifetime so far, I guess I'll get a little personal. I try to keep it about the trail or about my experience of the trail, but I couldn't help but think of some things on this trip. So just for a minute here, let me address something that, well, this past Christmas, the day after Christmas, my father went to the hospital and he never came out. And, although it was expected, we knew the time was coming. I mean, I've never lost somebody that close to me before. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, even friends. But it was different, you know, even though you're expecting it. It's like a piece of you's gone, you know. But I think about the weather on this trip, about how things just went my way. That first day when I stayed in the shelter and decided to stay the night, met that other thru hiker, but he really inspired me. And I made the right choice, you know, the rain stopped, and that day I got to the next shelter. I think it just stormed right after I got to shelter, and it was fine in the morning. There's that day I got lost, and the clouds opened up, and I saw that big view. But when I got lost, it would have been cloudy and rainy when I went by that view. And then the rain came that night and gave me water. I ran into some bad weather, so I talked about, you know, I'm bringing a tarp from now on, you know. But I wasn't wet all the time on this trail. I mean, I got wet and I dealt with some things, but it seemed like the weather was in my favor, almost there to help me, especially when the rain came to give me that water. I just can't help but think that my dad's up there pulling some strings for me on this one. He always had my back, no matter what. I think he did one last time here. I couldn't help but think that when you're out here in nature and country like that, and you just, for so long, and you think about things like that. Just went my way too many times to be a coincidence. I don't know. Thanks, Dad. 250 miles, Tuscarora Trail, done. From here it's 0.4 miles to the hogback parking lot of the AT. Trip to remember forever. See y'all next time.